Do you remember that person who was always by your side, giving you endless love? The one who, even when you ignored her, continued to make small gestures of affection, hoping that one day you would appreciate her. This love, often invisible, hides behind silences and regrets. This is what we will talk about today. She loved you while you turned your back on her, and this is one of the greatest emotional icebergs that can exist. What isn't apparent at first glance are the depths of that love. The sleepless nights, the silent tears, and the forced smiles that tried to conceal the pain. Genuine love doesn't fade easily, but when it's unreciprocated, it turns into a heavy silence that echoes in memories. Over time, you made choices that pushed this person away. You justified your indifference with excuses that now sound hollow. I'm too busy. This isn't the right time, or she will always be there. These statements became walls that you built between you. But the truth is, while you were distracted by other things, she was there, waiting for a sign, a word, a gesture. As the days turned into months, her love increasingly became a burden, a love that was not just a feeling, but a complete surrender. Each time you ignored her, she bid farewell to a little bit of herself, without you even noticing. What you saw as unwavering love, she saw as a burden. This dynamic teaches us that love, when not nurtured, can turn into a suffocating silence. When reality finally knocked on your door, you realized what you were losing. But by then, it was too late. The love she offered became a painful memory. You remembered the shared laughter, the unfulfilled promises, and the plans that were never realized. What you didn't see was that her love was not just a gift. It was an act of courage, a risk she took even without knowing if it would be reciprocated. Now, looking back, you realize that guilt is a constant companion. The weight of regret can be unbearable. You wonder if you could have done things differently, if you could have valued that unconditional love. But the truth is that time doesn't turn back. The unspoken words and the unexpressed feelings become scars that mark the story of who you are. She became part of your past, a lesson in what it means to love and be loved. What remains now is reflection. How will you deal with this learning? Will you be able to open your heart again, or will you remain trapped in that emotional silence? Renounced love is painful, but it's also an invitation to change. An opportunity to recognize that loving is, above all, an act of courage and vulnerability. In the end, the question remains, are you ready to honor those who love you before it's too late? This is the true iceberg of renounced love, where the depths of our feelings await recognition. When you reflect on the person who has always been by your side, it's impossible not to acknowledge the depth of the love that was offered. This love, often invisible, is not limited to grand moments or extravagant displays. It is found in the small things, in the daily concern, the messages sent for no reason, in the simple gestures that many times you overlooked. This love is built in silences that speak louder than words. When you were too busy to notice, she was there, watching and waiting. Her love didn't require constant acknowledgement, but it was a love that thrived on hope. The hope that one day you could see what was right in front of your eyes. However, that wait is not without pain. Each passing day, each indifference felt, weighed more heavily on her heart. As time went on, the dynamics of the relationship began to shift. What was once a vibrant love started to turn into a palpable tension. The silences that used to be comfortable became a burden. What once brought you together now created a chasm. Love, which should have been a safe space, became a minefield of insecurities and doubts. Every time you chose to ignore one of her calls, a new wall rose between you. You began to justify your actions. The fast-paced routine of modern life became a convenient excuse. I can't right now, you would say. I'm focused on other things. But how much time did you really dedicate to thinking about what that love meant? The unspoken promises and unfulfilled gestures piled up like dust on a forgotten shelf. When you finally realized what you had lost, the pain was overwhelming. Her love was not just a feeling, it was a commitment. That commitment, which once seemed unshakable, turned into a distant echo, an echo that resonated in your memories, bringing to the surface moments you now wished you had cherished. The laughter shared, the secrets whispered, the small adventures that now seemed so distant. The question that arises is, what will you do with that pain? Regret is a treacherous feeling. It can consume you or become a catalyst for transformation. You can choose to remain trapped in that pain, allowing it to define your perspective on future relationships. Or on the other hand, You can use this experience as a lesson, a guide that will shape your interactions from here on out. Recognizing the pain is the first step. It's essential to understand that love is not a bargaining chip. It's not something to be given in parts or something to be expected in return. True love is a gift given freely, unconditionally. When you realize this, you can start to reevaluate your current and future relationships. It takes courage to open your heart again. The fear of rejection or not being reciprocated can be paralyzing. However, it's important to remember that each new relationship is a new opportunity. Every person who enters your life brings with them the possibility of a new love, a love that can be more recognized and valued. Additionally, reflecting on the love that was denied should lead you to consider how you can be a better partner. How can you offer love in a more conscious way? How can you ensure that you're not just waiting for love to arrive, but also making an effort to show it? Loving is an act of vulnerability, and this vulnerability should be embraced. Sometimes what prevents you from valuing the love you receive is the fear of getting hurt again. However, love should not be seen as a source of pain, but as a source of growth. Each romantic experience, even those that end in regret, carries valuable lessons. These lessons help you become a stronger version of yourself. In the end, the crucial question is whether you're willing to make the necessary changes. Are you ready to open up and allow new connections to blossom? If you feel ready, start expressing your feelings more regularly. Don't let the fear of what could happen stop you from connecting with others. Love should not be a burden. It should be a source of joy, comfort, and mutual growth. Remember that as you focus on recognizing and valuing the loves in your life, you are also creating a space for yourself to be loved fully and unconditionally. Life is short, and time doesn't wait. So, don't let silences become your only company. Learn to express what you feel, to appreciate those around you, and to allow yourself to love again. Love, in all its forms, is one of the most enriching experiences you can have. It's time to honor this, before regret turns into an echo you can no longer bear. The love you let slip away is not just a story of loss, but an invitation to introspection. Every time you remember that person, it's an opportunity to reflect on how your actions shaped the relationship. Why didn't you appreciate them back then? What prevented you from recognizing the depth of love they offered? These questions are essential for understanding not just what happened between you, but also what occurs when you connect with others. Often, the distractions of everyday life become a trap. You get lost in commitments, work, and responsibilities, while true love waits patiently. This neglect can create a vicious cycle where a lack of attention leads to indifference, which in turn becomes regret. It's a pattern that repeats itself, not only in romantic relationships, but also in friendships and family ties. When you don't take the time to nurture these bonds, you risk seeing them fade away. Moreover, a lack of communication is one of the main culprits of emotional strain. Often you might think that the other person knows what you're feeling, but the truth is that unexpressed feelings linger like shadows clouding the connection. What could be an open dialogue turns into assumptions. This lack of clarity creates a chasm that is hard to cross. Therefore, it's essential to cultivate the ability to communicate honestly about your emotions. Saying, "I love you," and demonstrating it through actions is fundamental to any healthy relationship. Another aspect that deserves attention is the importance of recognizing the other person's efforts. Love is not just an exchange of words, but also of actions. When someone is dedicated to you, it's vital that this is noticed and appreciated. This doesn't mean you need to make grand gestures in return, but small acts of gratitude can strengthen the relationship. A simple thank you can make all the difference. This exchange of recognition creates an environment of mutual love, where both people feel valued and respected. It's equally important to understand that regret doesn't have to be paralyzing. Instead of getting stuck on what could have been, use that experience as a learning opportunity. Ask yourself, how can I act differently in the future? Personal growth is a continuous process, and each painful experience carries the potential to become a better version of yourself. By reevaluating your choices, you may become more aware of your interactions and the people around you. Life is not just about what you've lost, but about what you can still achieve. Each new relationship is a new chance to do things differently. If you commit to being more present and attentive, You can not only avoid the mistakes of the past, but also build new, meaningful memories. Don't let the fear of repeating past errors hold you back from opening up to new experiences. Additionally, it's essential to consider that love also requires emotional maturity. You must be willing to confront your insecurities and fears, recognizing that love involves risks, but that those risks can be worth it, is an important step. Don't close yourself off in an emotional cocoon out of fear of being hurt again. Every relationship brings with it the opportunity to learn more about yourself and what you truly value in a partner. When you decide to open up to love again, be aware that there is no such thing as perfect love. Everyone has their flaws, and it's essential to accept that imperfection is part of the human experience. True love is not about finding someone who meets all your expectations, but about finding someone whom, despite their imperfections, you choose to love and respect. The beauty of love lies in accepting the other person as they are. For those who have experienced lost love, healing is a process that takes time. Don't rush into opening up again before you've made peace with your past. Allow yourself to feel the pain, but don't let it consume you. Grieving for lost love is a natural part of the process, and it is through this that you can find new meaning in your future relationships. If you are willing to pick yourself up and seek new paths, start surrounding yourself with people who value you. Be alongside those who recognize your worth and are willing to build a healthy relationship. The energy you emanate attracts what you desire. If you seek love, open yourself to it. Build relationships based on respect and communication. Moreover, don't be afraid to ask for help. Talking to friends or family about your experiences can bring new perspectives and help you process your feelings. Sometimes, professional help can also be a valuable resource for coping with regret and the emotional challenges you face. Ultimately, love should not be a burden. It should be a space where you feel safe, valued, and free to be who you truly are. By honoring the feelings you have, both positive and negative, you prepare yourself to build a future where love is a source of joy and growth. Recognizing the importance of valuing those who love you is a crucial step. Take responsibility for your actions and seek ways to show love and gratitude. Time may be relentless, but the lessons learned can guide you toward a more fulfilling future. Don't let regret become your only legacy. Choose love, connection, and vulnerability, and open yourself to the possibilities that life still has to offer. The love that is lost often becomes a weight we carry. It's essential to understand that each relationship is an opportunity for learning. When faced with regret, it's vital to consider what could have been different. Instead of clinging to the pain, use that experience as a guide that lights your way. One of the most important aspects involves communication. Often we don't express what we feel, believing that others already know. However, the truth is that assumptions can create distances. Instead of waiting for the other person to guess your emotions, share them. Be clear about your feelings and needs. Open communication is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Additionally, it's crucial to recognize the other person's efforts. When someone is dedicated to you, it's important to show appreciation. This doesn't mean that you should repay with grand gestures, but small acts of gratitude can strengthen the bond. A simple "I appreciate you" can make a big difference. This acknowledgement creates an environment where both parties feel valued. Another aspect to consider is vulnerability. When you open yourself up to love, you also expose yourself to risks. The fear of getting hurt can be paralyzing, but it's important to remember that every new relationship is a new opportunity. Don't let fear stop you from connecting. Love should be a source of joy, not a burden. Furthermore, by re-evaluating your interactions, you can become more aware of the impact your actions have on others. What you do or don't do shapes the dynamic of the relationship. Every little gesture counts. Sometimes a simple phone call or message can be exactly what the other person needs to feel loved and valued. When it comes to building new connections, being present is vital. This means dedicating time and attention to the people around you. Often, the daily grind consumes us, and we end up neglecting those who matter most. By listening and paying attention, you create a safe space for relationships to flourish. Another important reflection is on what you seek in a partner. Often, we idealize a perfect image, but true love is about accepting imperfection. Everyone has their flaws, and accepting this is part of what makes a relationship real and lasting. You need to learn to love the other person as they are, with their qualities and faults. It's understandable that the fear of suffering may prevent you from opening yourself up again. However, love shouldn't be seen merely as a source of pain. Every romantic experience brings valuable lessons. These lessons help you become a better version of yourself. By learning from the past, you prepare yourself for a more rewarding future. On your journey of self-discovery, it's essential to seek support as well. Talking with friends or family about your experiences can bring new perspectives. Additionally, professional help can be a valuable resource. A therapist can guide you in processing your emotions and offer tools for dealing with regret. Remember that love is a construction. It doesn't happen overnight. It requires time, effort, and dedication. By committing to being more present and attentive, you not only avoid the mistakes of the past, but also build new, meaningful memories. It's a process that takes time, but every step matters. Another important consideration is the ability to forgive. Forgiveness isn't just about others, it's also about yourself. Free yourself from the burden of regret. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes. Learning to forgive yourself can create space for new experiences and relationships. Life is made up of choices, and every decision you make shapes your future. By choosing to value those you love, you create a positive cycle. This not only strengthens your current relationships, but also attracts people who appreciate you. Love is an energy that multiplies when shared. Ultimately, the issue isn't about what you've lost, but about what you can still achieve. Every new relationship is a new chance. Allow yourself to open your heart again. Genuine love is one of the most enriching experiences you can have. Finally, don't let regret define your story. Choose love, connection, and vulnerability. Learn to recognize the lessons that life offers you. Every moment is an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. Be willing to make changes and value those around you. Time is precious, and love should be celebrated, not mourned. By honoring your feelings and learning from your experiences, you prepare for a future where love is a source of joy and growth. Love that has been ignored often turns into an emotional burden. This burden is not just a weight that you carry, but also a reflection of the choices you've made. Every decision to distance yourself, every moment you could have connected, accumulates into a kind of emotional residue. It's essential to recognize this so that you can move forward and not get stuck in the cycle of regret. In many cases, a lack of communication is the root of problems. You might often feel like you're communicating, but the truth is that unspoken words often carry more weight than you realize. It's crucial to be clear and honest about your feelings. When you hold back emotions, it can create a barrier that's difficult to cross. It's not just what you say, but how you say it that matters. An open conversation can change the dynamic of a relationship and bring to light feelings that were hidden. Furthermore, it's important to consider the role of vulnerability. Opening yourself up to love also means exposing your weaknesses. This act of vulnerability can be intimidating, but it is necessary for building healthy relationships. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you also give the other person permission to do the same. This creates a space of trust where both can feel safe to express their emotions. Another issue to address is time. The time you dedicate to someone indicates how much you value that person. Often, modern life distracts us with obligations and responsibilities, leading us to neglect those who truly matter. Take moments to be present, to listen, and to share. These small acts of attention can make a big difference in how someone perceives your love. It's also important to understand that every relationship goes through phases. The beginning is often marked by intense passion, but that can turn into a routine. This is the moment when you should make a conscious effort to keep the spark alive. Surprises, unexpected gestures, and quality time together are essential to keep the relationship vibrant. Love should not be taken for granted. It requires continuous effort. Additionally, reflecting on what you want in a relationship is crucial. Ask yourself, what truly matters to you? What qualities are you looking for in a partner? Having clarity about your expectations can help you connect more meaningfully with those around you. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Love should be a balanced exchange where both people feel valued. Self-confidence also plays a crucial role. Often insecurity can lead to a fear of opening up to love again. Work on your self-esteem and recognize your own worth. When you feel secure in yourself, it becomes easier to connect with others. Confidence is attractive and creates an environment where love can flourish. However, it's also important to accept that not every relationship will be perfect. Imperfection is part of the human experience. Each person who enters your life brings their own stories and challenges. Learning to navigate these ups and downs is essential. Love is not just about the good times, but also about how you face adversities together. Another important consideration is the ability to forgive. Forgiveness is not just a gift you offer to the other person, but also to yourself. Free yourself from the weight of resentment. Forgiveness allows you to move forward instead of being trapped in the scars of the past. This doesn't mean you have to forget, but that you are willing to not let the past dictate your future actions. Furthermore, it is vital to cultivate empathy. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Understanding their emotions and experiences can strengthen the connection between you. Empathy enables you to look beyond your own needs and start to grasp what the other person truly feels. This creates an environment of support and love, where both individuals feel heard and valued. Building healthy relationships also involves the ability to listen. Often, we can be so focused on expressing our own feelings that we forget to listen to the other person. Active listening is a valuable skill that allows you to truly understand the needs of the other. Take the time to really hear what the other person is saying without interrupting or formulating your response too soon. Additionally, love should be celebrated. Don't wait for special occasions to show your appreciation. Small acts of kindness in everyday life can make a big difference. A loving message, a simple surprise, or a sincere compliment can brighten someone's day and strengthen the bonds between you. Love is an energy that grows when nurtured. Lastly, remember that love is an ongoing process. It is always evolving, just like you. Be willing to adapt and grow alongside the other person. Every experience is a learning opportunity, and each relationship can teach you something new about yourself and what you desire in life. Be open to these lessons and use them as a guide to build a more loving and meaningful future. In the end, the true beauty of love lies in the ability to connect and be vulnerable. Value the people around you, express your feelings, and be willing to learn from each interaction. Love is a journey, and every step you take is an opportunity to become a stronger and more loving version of yourself. It's common throughout life to let ourselves be swept away by circumstances and the hustle and bustle of everyday life, forgetting to appreciate those who surround us. Responsibilities, work, and stress can cause us to lose sight of what truly matters: human connections. When we focus so much on fulfilling obligations, we often forget to show appreciation and love. This lack of attention can lead to a distancing that, over time, becomes difficult to repair. You may find that in many cases, relationships become superficial. Interactions are reduced to quick greetings and trivial conversations. The true emotional involvement is set aside, and the people who genuinely care end up being overlooked. This dynamic can create an emptiness in your life, leading to feelings of loneliness and regret. The first step to changing this situation is awareness. Recognizing that you need to put in more effort to cultivate your relationships is essential. This may mean taking the time to be present, even if it's in small doses. A message, a call, or even a casual meeting can have a significant impact on the life of someone who loves you. Showing that you care is a powerful way to strengthen bonds. Furthermore, it's important to practice gratitude. When you express appreciation for the little things others do, you not only validate their feelings, but also strengthen the bond between you. A simple thank you or a compliment can make the other person feel valued and loved, creating an environment conducive to a deeper love. Another aspect worth noting is the importance of being authentic in your relationships. Often, people feel pressured to fit into molds that do not truly represent who they are. This disconnection can lead to misunderstandings and frustrations. By being true to yourself, you allow others to do the same, which promotes clearer and more honest communication. In addition to authenticity, empathy should be a priority. Trying to understand the other person's point of view can help build a deeper level of connection. When you show that you care about what the other person is feeling, it not only strengthens the relationship, but also creates a safe space where both feel free to express their emotions. Vulnerability, while often feared, is another essential element. By allowing the other person to see your insecurities and fears, you open the door to a more authentic and meaningful relationship. This willingness to show your human fragility can encourage the other person to do the same, creating a positive cycle of mutual support. However, it's important to keep in mind that vulnerability should not become a trap. It's essential to set healthy boundaries and not allow the dynamics of the relationship to become a burden. Clear communication about your boundaries and needs is crucial to ensure that both parties feel comfortable and respected. After recognizing the importance of vulnerability, you should ask yourself, how can you be more open in your relationships? This openness can manifest through deep conversations where you share your feelings and dreams. The practice of active listening is crucial in this context. By listening attentively, you not only show that you value what the other person has to say, but you can also learn more about their needs and desires. Relationships also require maintenance. Just like a garden, they demand constant care. Set aside regular time to connect with the most important people in your life. This can be done through scheduled meetups, heartfelt conversations, or even simple activities like cooking together. The important thing is to dedicate attention and effort to strengthen these bonds. By introducing new elements into your relationships, you can also break the routine that often leads to stagnation. Try new activities together, such as playing a sport, taking a trip, or attending workshops. These shared experiences can create lasting memories and help keep the connection alive. It's essential to remember that each person is unique and brings their own experiences and perspectives. By embracing these differences, you not only enrich your life, but you also learn to be more tolerant and understanding. This openness can make a significant difference in how you relate to others. On the other hand, don't hesitate to seek support when needed. Talking with friends or family about your feelings can provide relief and new insights. Sometimes, sharing your concerns can help clear your mind and find solutions. Additionally, considering the help of a professional can be a valuable step, especially if you're dealing with deeper issues related to love and regret. When taking care of your relationships, you must be willing to forgive. Forgiveness is a process that doesn't happen overnight, but it is essential for releasing the emotional weight of the past. By forgiving, you not only free yourself, but also make room for new experiences and relationships. Life is about choices, and each day brings new opportunities to love and be loved. Don't let the fears of the past prevent you from opening up to the future. Every new relationship is a chance for growth and learning. Commit to being more present, to valuing the people who love you, and to connecting in a more meaningful way. In the end, love is a journey worth taking. No matter how many times you have faced difficulties or regrets, each step is an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. By embracing this journey, you may discover that love, in all its forms, is one of the most enriching experiences life has to offer. Often, life takes us down unexpected paths, and it's easy to lose sight of what really matters. Amid the hustle and bustle of daily life, relationships can be set aside, and the love that should thrive gets suffocated under the pressure of obligations. The reality is that human connection is fundamental to our emotional well-being. When we don't invest time and energy in the people we love, we risk losing the essence of what it means to have meaningful relationships. It's common to look back and question the decisions we made. Have you ever wondered how many opportunities for true connection with someone were lost because you were distracted? These moments of disconnection can accumulate and, over time, turn into regret. It's important to recognize these episodes as part of the learning process. Each of them brings a lesson about the importance of valuing the people who care about us. Moreover, a lack of clear communication can be one of the biggest obstacles in a relationship. Often you might assume that the other person knows how you feel or think, but that is rarely the case. Open communication is the foundation for building a healthy and lasting relationship. Honest conversations, where both parties feel comfortable expressing their emotions, help to avoid misunderstandings. Therefore, it is crucial to take the time to talk and listen to each other's concerns. In addition, the practice of active listening is vital. When you make an effort to listen to what the other person is saying, you not only show that you care, but also create a safe space for them to share their feelings. Active listening involves paying attention to what is being said, without interruptions, and asking questions that encourage the other person to open up even more. This strengthens the emotional connection and helps to build a deeper relationship. Another relevant aspect is the willingness to deal with conflicts. In any relationship, disagreements are inevitable. What matters is how you respond to them. Facing conflicts constructively can strengthen the bond between people. Instead of letting anger or frustration build up, it is essential to address issues openly and respectfully. This not only helps to resolve problems, but also demonstrates a commitment to the relationship. Recognizing the importance of emotional support is another crucial step. The people around you often need to know that they can count on you. Being available to listen and offer support during difficult times is a powerful way to strengthen bonds. A simple gesture of empathy can make a significant difference. Being present during tough moments and celebrating each other's accomplishments are also ways to reinforce the connection. In addition, it's important to cultivate an environment of gratitude. This means not only recognizing the efforts of others, but also expressing your appreciation regularly. A heartfelt thank you, a compliment, or a kind gesture can transform the atmosphere of a relationship. When people feel valued, they are more likely to reciprocate affection and support. Another point to consider is the importance of keeping promises. When you commit to something, following through is essential for building trust. If you frequently break promises, it can lead to resentment and distrust. It's crucial to be realistic about your abilities and deadlines. If you can't fulfill something, it's better to be honest from the start. Moreover, self-awareness is a fundamental pillar for healthy relationships. When you understand your own emotions, needs, and boundaries, it becomes easier to connect with others. Self-awareness allows you to communicate your expectations clearly. This helps avoid frustrations and misunderstandings. By knowing yourself, you also become more capable of understanding and respecting others' differences. The ability to forgive, both others and yourself, is essential. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or ignoring what happened, but rather releasing the burden of resentment. This enables you to move forward and create space for new experiences. Understanding that everyone makes mistakes helps cultivate empathy and compassion in your relationships. Additionally, don't be afraid to ask for help when needed. Talking with friends or family about your feelings can bring new perspectives and help you process your emotions. Sometimes, an outside viewpoint can offer valuable insights that you hadn't considered. Don't hesitate to seek professional support if you're dealing with deeper issues. A therapist can guide you to explore your emotions and provide tools for dealing with regret and pain. Lastly, remember that love is a continuous journey. Every interaction is a learning opportunity. Be willing to adapt and grow alongside the other person. The lessons learned along the way can help you build healthier and more fulfilling relationships. No matter how many difficulties you've faced in the past, each step is a chance to become a better version of yourself. By embracing this journey, you may discover that love, in all its forms, is one of the most enriching experiences life has to offer. Cultivate gratitude, empathy, and vulnerability in your relationships. By doing so, you not only honor the bonds you already have, but you also prepare yourself for new, meaningful connections in the future. Life is precious, and love should be celebrated, nurtured, and valued every single day. Before you leave, do two things right now. Take a deep breath and hold on to what touched your heart today. And if it makes sense, share this story with someone who also needs to hear it.